the inside is a set.
Okay.
The outside is a real house, but we extended the house and destroyed the bit that we extended. And there's a couple of different buses, and the bus he's driving is not driving, it's on a track.
What? You told me I was driving it.
It's really, really like laborious and difficult and awkward to do. And exactly as Chris says, on a normal program, you'd go, well, we're not doing that, are we? You know, whereas on this, there's enough support there for us to just go and do, you know, the book says that the idiot drives into a house. You know, we got to do it. So.
He used very different terminology. You're going to do this hero moment, Chris.
Welcome to the main stage here at the Javits Center, home of New York Comic Con. This very space is where all of the magic happens all weekend long. We are bringing you so many great panels and videos, some of them hosted by me, your video producer and host Ashley Victoria Robinson, and some of them hosted by a slew of amazing talent. If you want to be able to make sure that even though you're not with us or you're catching up at home, you see everything that happened this year in 2025, head over to thepopverse.com. We've got memberships, we've got so much access to all the coolest stuff. In the meantime, sit back and enjoy your feature panel presentation.
Hello, New York Comic Con. I am Linda Holmes. I am one of the hosts of NPR's Pop Culture Happy Hour podcast. Yeah, I have been covering pop culture for about 25 years, and I've never been here. So I'm very excited to be, I know, it's shameful. I'm very excited to be here. So while Sir Gary Oldman could not be here, I know, he smells great in person, I'm absolutely positive. But he sent you all a video message. Let's see it. The best, right? The best.
Absolutely.
The best, the greatest. You all just saw the 3rd episode, right? You've all watched? All right. So we saw him be the best. I mean, there's quite a story told in that episode. Well, some of you weren't there, but were any of you there?
I was there.
You were there. Only you were there. It was great. He's the best. I think, having just seen that episode, and what this room has already seen, I feel like it's impossible not to start with a question about the mythical, historical, futuristical. My spell check did not want to accept that word, by the way. Roddy Ho, Christopher Chung. I feel like Roddy has more and more been getting out from behind the desk. Now he is a full-on menacing gymnast. Parkour, kind of leaping around. What's that like for you?
Oh, it's really difficult. It's wonderful because I think he gives you something that's completely unexpected from someone that's a bit of a death jockey. So when you get him into those situations and he starts to feel the fervor of being trapped in that room with Diana, you can see it start to manifest in his physicality, and that's really the person that he is.
Yeah. Was there more of that, or was it just what we saw, or was there, how much of that did you do?
There was more of it.
Yeah?
That might be a deleted scene somewhere at some point. Would you want to see it?
Would they want to see it? Of course they would want to see it.
I don't know if you can handle it.
Saul, talk to me a little bit about directing that sequence. How much is the vision there of exactly how that's going to play out, and how much do you have to kind of find it when you get there?
No, we pretty much make everything up as we go along. The set is designed specially so that he can have eye contact with the people examining him, but it wasn't just going to be a normal interrogation room. We had to have the bars to jump up on and to hold on to. So all that is sort of worked through. We have a choreographer, a guy called Johnny White, who actually works with Chris to make him do these beautiful moves. And apart from that, no, we don't. We just shoot it. We just work it out in the day. But I must say, I just thought that Roddy and Taverner is the double act that we should have had from the word go, because I would have a spin-off TV series with the two of them.
Yeah, it was quite a sequence. I think everybody. Is anybody else interested in being locked in a cell, basement, jump around?
With
Anybody
Kristen
else?
Scott Thomas.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Or me.
Or you. No takers for the gymnastics. Well, Roddy only seems like a new man, but we do have an actual new man, namely Nick Mohammed as London Mayor Zafar Jaffrey. I have to tell you, one of my friends wrote about that episode that aired last night and sort of rolled eyes at the fact that the slogan is "Make London Wonderful Again." And I sent a text and said, no, my friend, what is it?
Make London Lunderful again.
Yes.
It's horrendous.
It is horrendous. It is horrendous. Fortunately, I had I have all the captions on, so I was guaranteed not to miss it. I feel like at this point in the story, we are still kind of figuring out who he is. Who do you think he is?
Well, I guess I kind of know who he is, but look, he's just a slippery politician who is quite vain, quite self-serving, can be quite manipulative, and he's seeking re-election, and even though his policies are quite left-leaning and seemingly quite reasonable, I think his own vanity has probably kind of got in the way of him delivering on any of that.
Yeah, I think that's fair. He seems to blow with the wind at least a little bit. Speaking of Zafar Jaffrey, showing is always better at telling. So let's look at a clip from this week's episode of Slow Horses.
Yeah, a little bit awkward. Bilal, who plays Irfan, is fantastic. And also, I think huge props to Daniel Pemberton because the score is incredible throughout Slow Horses, but yeah.
Yeah. How's it been for you coming into a cast that's been kicking around in various combinations for a long time?
I was such a fan of the show when I auditioned for it. I think season 3 had just dropped when I auditioned for it, and so I was really nervous but excited at the prospect of maybe joining it. And yeah, the dangerous thing is then you really kind of start to want it, and it was quite a rigorous audition process. But yeah, I was delighted to get it, and everyone has been so nice.
Yeah, it's interesting because it reminds me of, there are certain like other procedurals where people kind of cycle in and they cycle out, and you have to kind of brace yourself for people to sometimes die. And but it's always interesting to see kind of how the chemistry changes as people kind of come in and out. So always good.
I couldn't tell if it was a question or not, sorry.
It's not, you know what? It's not really a question.
But it was really nice.
It's just me actually thinking live.
I loved it.
It's always a bad idea. Ruth, I want to ask you, Emma is an antagonist in a different way than Duffy was, or somebody like that. Still has an antagonism with these guys, but doesn't beat them up. How do you think about her dynamic with them?
With the horses?
With the horses, yeah.
Well, I mean, I never think of her as an antagonist, obviously, because I think she's right because I'm playing her, but I can see
Sure.
that in the show she's an antagonist. I think she thinks she's better than the horses, which is her Achilles heel. She underestimates them all the time. I don't think she underestimates Lamb anymore, not after season 4, but definitely she has a superiority thing, an ego thing with the horses, which is a real shame because she'd do much better if she didn't have that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. All right, so if she's the clever, and when I say antagonist, I really just mean, clashes with them.
Baddie.
Well, yeah. If she is sort of the clever antagonist, then maybe Claude is sort of the...
Brilliant antagonist. You're going to say totally brilliant and sexy.
That's exactly...
I think that's what
you took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you going to say?
No. That is literally exactly what I was going to say.
Thank you so much. You put the words right in my mouth.
Listen, you read my mind. He does seem sometimes like he's in a little bit over his head.
Yeah, I mean, this season more, it's like that.
Yes.
In the first season, very much, you know, he's been brought in because people believe he will be a safe pair of hands after Ingrid Tierney,
Right.
who's gone rogue. So they're like, let's get this guy Claude, and if we call him up on the phone and tell him to do something, he will.
Right.
And he's not really supposed to think out of the box.
Right.
And then, like, the fact that he survives season 4 and has managed to wipe off some of the, you know, egg off his face has then instilled a kind of that kind of faux beginner's luck.
Yeah.
It's like, now I really know what I'm doing. And that's like when everybody's in real danger. When somebody like Claude is like, no, I've really got it now.
Yeah.
So he's trying.
Sure.
He needs, it's like, he needs a few more drafts, you know, before the final.
Yeah, he'll get there, right?
He's going to get there somehow.
He's gonna get there. He's gonna be brilliant. He's gonna be brilliant. So I know the show is already renewed for what, 6 and 7? Is that right?
Yes.
I mean, that is, relatively speaking, that's a long time for a TV show, especially now. What do you think? And I guess I'll just kind of throw this out there. What do you think is the appeal of it that makes it sort of come back and retain audience at a time when that is so difficult? See, this is the problem. Either I put you on the spot.
It's got to be something about the characters and the horses, right? And the office dynamics. And I think, I don't know, but it feels like everybody can relate to that kind of dynamic.
Yeah.
That they're real people. And there's something very familiar, I think, for audiences when watching that.
Yeah.
I think people really like to, going on the being relatable, be able to come back to characters that are still stuck in the same situation day after day, but in new circumstances, because there is something that's quite mirroring to real life in that everybody has to go to the office and deal with that dickhead at work, you know? So.
Yeah. Do you think it's also, I wonder if it's also the relatively like compact stories and the fact that it's, you know, they start a story and finish a story.
I mean, I think it's a very clever system. There's a story of the season, which is usually something to do with terrorists or crime or something like that. But then there's the real story, which is actually all about a bunch of characters and their interactions. And then that's the basic conceit. And of course, stories like a sort of shooting or something are things that come and go, but the terrible life of these people just keeps going. And I think we kind of looked at a lot of sitcoms and things like that, or things like The Office or Parks and Recreations, of things you could actually run and run and run, because you can just keep putting these characters into different messes, and new exciting things would come out. And also, it's just such a good joke that each of them is stuck in Slough House, but they think it's an injustice against them, and the rest of them are losers, and I'm great.
Right.
And I just think that's kind of how a lot of people run through life, so it's very relatable.
I suppose that's how a lot of people feel at work, yeah?
Isn't there also the kind of subversion of James Bond? We're kind of watching a spy show, but like when the guys get it together, the thing that they get together is like a bit MacGyvered. Do you know what I mean? And like, we all know how James Bond might do something, and then it's like watching. It's like, sorry, what are these guys doing? How is that going to play out or work?
Yeah.
It's constantly every season you're going to find out how they get the guy in a fashion you didn't think of.
Yeah, it's such a specific tone as well. Like, as a fan of the show before joining it does that amazing thing where it does that very fine dance between being thrilling and dramatic and emotional, but deeply, deeply funny. And, you know, Will Smith's scripts are just, you know, genius, really.
Yeah. I always think it's very brave that they are legitimately bad at their jobs, at least some of the time. Like, they don't just seem bad at their jobs. Like, sometimes they are genuinely bad at their jobs. Which, you know, do you think, and I guess this is a question maybe about directing, is it part of the tone, do you think, that they are sort of constantly on that trying to fix a problem? Do you know what I mean? Trying to fix a problem they've created?
Sure, I mean, River is trying to prove himself to Lamb all the time. Flight's trying to prove herself to Taverner all the time. They're all stuck. They've got very obvious character flaws that are not obvious to themselves.
Yeah, yeah. I do want to ask you too about directing. You know, as I said, you've been Emmy nominated for directing this show before.
Yeah. I didn't win.
Should have done.
I'm curious about the balance between, I feel like the show has a lot of consistency in style across the seasons, but also I'm wondering to what degree each season kind of has a feel to it for its kind of environs and tone.
I mean, I don't know. I approached season 3 and season 5 in the same way. Season 5 has certain special things about it because it's got so much Roddy in it. But I don't think you approach it differently. I think, I mean, the tone to me is the fun bit.
Yeah.
I mean, to start an episode with a very unpleasant shooting, and then go into some very unpleasant dancing is a great thing. I mean it's and also if anything, to me it's a perfect illustration of the world. Terrible things go on, and people dance to their own music thinking they're the center of their own film. I mean, I think to me that to get these sort of ways of talking about the world in a simple cut between two things like that, I think is great fun. I mean, the tone is the fun bit. I mean, there's plenty of programs that do action, there's plenty of programs that are funny, but to mesh these together is great fun. And if anything, you just want to take a few risks. I think otherwise you're just doing the same program again and again. You've seen all the same programs. Just try it be a little bit wild. What would happen if, kind of thing. It just gives you something to get up in the morning to make directing worthwhile.
Yeah. I'm curious whether any of you are readers of the books in terms of because I always wonder, would you want to read ahead and see what's going to happen, or maybe not so much?
Yeah, I read ahead.
Yeah, you read?
Yes, I've done it. Yeah.
You did?
We've all read ahead.
We're all actors, you see, and so when you have the kind of blueprint to know where the characters are going and where the show could possibly go, and if you can cover your rent the next month because you might not be dead, that's always really important.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to have warning in a way,
That's right.
I suppose.
Yeah.
But also...
And all the character stuff and the actory stuff.
Well, yeah, because there are people, I think, who don't want to know. I think there are
Yeah.
people who don't want to know where
Well, I
the
don't think
character is going, or-
Jack hasn't read the books. I don't
Yeah.
think, has he? No.
I don't think Kristen reads the scripts.
I was saying to somebody the other day, I think she has the best job on the show because she swans around the office in the most amazing clothes and is always astonishing. It's interesting to me because when you do have a pre-existing set of books that are beloved by people, do you find that when people come to talk to you about the show, do you run into ever people who feel a tension between what they got from the books and what they're expecting from the show? It seems to me like the show is relatively, what do I want to say, true to the books compared to a lot of adaptations of books. And I'm just curious what kind of reactions you guys get from book readers in terms of the adaptation.
I haven't actually had any experience of book readers versus the adaptation. Have you, Chris?
Yeah, I've had quite a few. I think because Ho and Lamb specifically in the books are written so abrasively sometimes and quite, you can do things in the novel that you can't necessarily show on screen, otherwise it makes them extremely unlikable characters and people that you don't really want to invest in watching.
Yeah.
The trick with the show, speaking about Roddy in particular, is balancing that kind of obnoxious arrogance that he has with showing some kind of humanity and something that will cause you as the audience to feel some sort of empathy towards connection.
Right.
So balancing that out has been the biggest thing that people point out to me. You're a lot more likable than the version in the books.
Really, you seem not to like that word. It seems to be an uncomfortable word about Roddy.
I like that I've been able. I think as an actor, you can't put a judgment on a character
Right,
that you're
right,
playing.
right.
Otherwise, it's really difficult to inhabit them. But I'm not playing him to be likable. I'm not playing him to be disliked. I'm playing him to be in his own world, of his own making.
Well, and what makes you like a character isn't necessarily what makes you like a person in real life.
Yeah.
You know, I'm curious, James, whether you think Claude has a similar need to be balanced in how sort of silly he sometimes is, but also you get the sense that he wants to do a good job.
Yeah, I mean, he's really, this season round, like I was just hearing Saul say that Flight's trying to prove herself to Taverner and River's trying to prove himself to Lamb, and Claude is in some way really trying to prove something to himself. Do you know what I mean? That he might be able to affect some things, you know, without it being a dumpster fire. Watch this space.
Yeah, I have watched this
Oh, you
space,
see.
by the way. Yeah, you know, when I watch some of the kind of action sequences, it's such an interesting combination to me of Office stuff and really kind of indoor kid kind of stuff, and then outdoor action and running around and things like that. And I'm curious, those of you who do a certain amount of both, Ruth, you do a certain amount of both.
Yeah.
How do you feel about a day when you're going to be in a suit in an office versus I'm going to be out fist fighting and I'm going to be in the rain and it's going to be whatever?
I'd much rather be talking to someone in an office. When I see those lines that say flight races across, like, oh, Jesus. I'm not an athlete. But yeah, I've done much more running and fighting in real life as a result of this. I've lifted a few weights, and I ran half a marathon during the last season. And then by the time it got to the racing scenes, I hadn't run in 4 months. So I was like, shit, I have mistimed this. So yeah, I'm not an athlete. I'd rather just do acting.
Yeah. Saul, what are the hardest days for you when you come in and you look at what is going to be that day? Are there days that are more difficult than others, or is it just?
I just have to give the worst answer for this because this is the best crew in the entire world who have done it for 5 seasons, and they've now done it for 6 seasons with the most amazing cast. And I mean, you know, I've done directing painful television, and a lot of television is very painful to direct. I mean, it's still a good job. I'm not really complaining, but this is not like that. We make this like a film. We prep endlessly. So it's not a day that you think this is going to hurt. I think in a way the interesting challenge is not the action stuff, because we have a lot of people who can help us. A lot of people know what they're doing. It's keeping the dialogue stuff, the stuff in the office, as exciting as the action stuff. So in a way, that's harder because you have to, like, I don't ever want to shoot it in a boring way. I want to do something with it. But honestly, if you cannot direct this program well, you really can't be a director, because it's everything is there to make it easy for you, really. You know, it's super well supported. We have sometimes too much time on our hands. We use every bit of equipment known to mankind, and we've got a lovely cast and crew. I mean, it's terrible answer, sorry.
So I'm curious if any of you in the cast, do you have a favorite day that you've done on this show? Doesn't have to be your very favorite day.
Well, it is. My favorite day was in season 3, actually, with Saul, when I crashed a bus into a house.
Oh, sure.
Because there was so much, you know, it is in the novel, and it seems like the first thing that should be cut when you're going into pre-production, because it's going to be too expensive and it doesn't really move the plot along.
Never even thought about it, clearly.
No. But it's a really great piece of character for Roddy and his thought process, and a great joke for Gary. And on that day that we set up the crash, there was one go at it, and everyone who wasn't supposed to be on set was on set to watch a bus crash into a house.
Yeah. Did you guys wreck kind of house did you wreck?
The inside is a set.
Okay.
The outside is a real house, but we extended the house and destroyed the bit that we extended. And
see.
there's a couple of different buses, and the bus he's driving is not driving. It's on a track.
What? You told me I was driving it.
It's really, really like laborious and difficult and awkward to do. And exactly as Chris says, on a normal program, you'd go, well, we're not doing that, are we? You know, whereas on this, there's enough support there for us to just go and do, you know, the book says that the idiot drives into a house. You know, we got to do it. So.
He used very different terminology. You're going to do this hero moment, Chris.
I mean, listen, if you're going to drive into a house, you got to drive into a house.
That's right.
Right? Nick, I want to talk to you a little bit about, I'm going to venture to say with Americans in particular, they probably know you from Ted Lasso. Yes? It's a I feel like I just did the thing at a concert when somebody says, like, it's great to be here in Cleveland, and everybody goes, woo! What is the experience? I mean, I feel like that show for a lot of people kind of came out of nowhere originally.
Are we talking about Ted Lasso? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Came out of nowhere a little bit. What was that experience like for you as kind of your role in it changed and as the show became more and more popular? I'm just curious how that was for you.
Well, I mean, it's such a, I don't know, I think I'm sort of still processing it now, really. This is really ignorance of me, but I'd never been to America before, like the Emmys, which is sort of a mad introduction to a country.
How was it?
Oh, it was great. But it's just so surreal because, you know, it was an audition that I did and happened to get. Could easily have not got it. And I knew very early on that, you know, they described to me the journey of Nate. And but by that point, I don't think it had even been renewed. But they said, oh, this is our plan if we do get renewed again. And, you know, they were obviously very true to their word. But because it went out, the first season went out over lockdown, over COVID, we were very sheltered from any degree of success, and we obviously weren't traveling around doing press or anything. We did a few virtual bits and pieces, but even so, and it was, in the UK, it was a real sleeper, possibly, I mean, don't really know why, but it hadn't quite taken off in the UK until probably towards the end of season 2. So, yeah, the whole thing is just such a whirlwind, but that cast and crew, we just bonded so quickly, and maybe partly because of COVID and lockdown and just the subject matter of it being a very positive show and very optimistic. And yeah, I just feel so grateful to be a part of it. And in terms of Nate, you know, it started off as this quite socially awkward, bumbling guy, but, you know, he definitely gets to kind of come into his own in season 2 and take a bit of a heel turn at the end of that. Just in case no one's seen it, I'm couching my words.
Yeah, so spoilers. You know, we talked about the Emmys. You mentioned the Emmys. I'm always curious what people who work in television watch on television. Do y'all have time to watch TV or not so much? Because some people say, I don't watch TV, I don't have time to watch TV. Other people have favorite shows. Favorite shows? Anyone?
I just watched Black Rabbit on Netflix.
Oh,
That was awesome.
how'd you like it?
I thought it was incredible.
Yeah? That's your Jason Bateman and your Jude Law, if y'all have not seen it, on Netflix.
Shrinking. That's great.
Oh, I love Shrinking. You know, when I asked you before, really did a bad job of asking an actual question? I did that at a Shrinking event with Brett Goldstein. And it was one of the funniest things that's ever happened to me on stage. Because it was way worse than that. It was way worse than that. Shrinking's great. Do you watch television?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, tell me.
But
I can tell you don't want to.
No, I do. I do watch a lot of television, but because when I'm working, I've become really focused on it. So I like to watch things that are really comforting, that I've watched many times. So something like The Office, I watch a lot of. or something really mind-numbing like reality TV, like Love is Blind.
I feel like everybody watches Love is Blind.
You guys don't have Gogglebox, do you?
Oh, Gogglebox.
Do you have
The what? I'm
Gogglebox?
sorry?
Gogglebox?
So Gogglebox is a UK thing where just regular people mostly are just watching TV and they're commenting on the program. You'd think it's not entertaining. There's nothing more entertaining than...
It's so good.
Oh, good.
And you also get a whole tone of the country, don't you? It's like... anyway, Gogglebox. I'm surprised it's not made it to the States.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. Especially, is it inexpensive to make? If it is, then we'll get it.
So cheap.
Yeah. If it is so cheap to make, we are going to get it. We are going to get it here. So, what are? Let's see. I can't ask you all to tell anything about anything that hasn't happened yet. What are you excited about the audience getting to see that you can say?
I am really looking forward to the audience seeing a scene between me and Ruth. That's coming up in next week's episode. It's wonderful.
It's good.
She had a brilliant time with me. No, not like that.
Yeah, that's fun. That's good fun.
Yeah, is that one? And then in the future, what do you hope to do in future seasons? What do you want more? You want more action? You want more love story? You want more? Because I don't know the books past what I've seen already. So I'm just curious.
I really enjoyed being out from behind the desk this season.
Yes.
So I think maybe more dancing.
Or
But I really want to fire a gun.
Would they give him a gun?
I don't know if he would need permission to have
Should he have a gun?
Well, that's a question.
Didn't you nearly have a gun in season 4, but you couldn't hold it? Remember in the toilet with Jonathan Pryce? You're like, I have a gun at the end of season 4 when you're being shot up by the French.
Oh, no, that was Saskia has the gun and she drops the bullets everywhere.
But you hid in the bathroom.
I hid in the bathroom with the shitty toilet and Sir Jonathan Pryce.
They're not going to give you a gun if you hide in the toilet.
So you want to get that
Yeah, I want to get that gun.
Get that gun.
Had the
Anybody
sword.
else? Gun, driving.
I'd like a dance number like Chris had this season.
Yeah.
Pretty good, yeah.
If there's room for one dance number, there's got to be room.
Definitely
for
one
more,
per season, so it'd be fine.
right? Yeah. What is, we talked earlier about whether people do or don't talk to you guys about the books. What do people come up to you and say when they talk to you about the show, other than just that they like it? Is there anything in particular that you hear about the show when people discuss it with you?
I mean, nobody talks to me about the show. Chris?
I often get, why is that guy from Ted Lasso in the show?
There's two things. I was walking in the street the other day, just up this way, and one of the first things was, oh my God, you're that guy from that show. Dark Horses. You're a dick. Why do they only put one episode out a week? Thank you very much. Yes, that is
Very
it.
good. It's a very good American, by the way.
I'm just constantly, people come and tell me how nice Chris Chung is, as opposed to Roddy. Everyone who meets him is astonished how nice he is, and you're like, he's an actor. He's not really like that. So I'm actually constantly amazed by how convincing Chris is as the world's worst person. I mean, I think it's amazing. Just back to your earlier thing. One of the things with the book and the TV series is I've never had anyone come to say to me, I wish Gary Oldman wasn't that character because I saw him differently. So actually, if anything, I think we're really close to being a thing that the people who read the books don't disapprove of. You know, I mean, nobody says, you know, oh, if I saw somebody else as that, it wouldn't be Gary, you know, and that I think is lovely, and how nice Chris Chung is.
No, of course. I mean, it's a whole plot point that Roddy could not possibly have a girlfriend, which is
Poor Roddy.
it's kind of mean.
It is mean, and but I think that's kind of like the great thing about the series as a whole, that every season has a really specific tone to it and a specific kind of driving force. Like season 4 was really a story about River and his grandfather going through dementia and him finding, you know, himself in that. And then season 5 is the whole kind of domino pushover at the start is Roddy Ho has a girlfriend, so it's comical in that way. So it manages to shift so many different tones and narrative points, which I think is what makes the show so brilliantly like reinventive every season.
Yeah, makes sense to me. We're gonna get to these guys in a little bit, but I do want to ask all of you: do you care about stuff like awards? Do people on good shows care about awards or no? Because I always wonder, because you know, people in the press, we follow them, but I never know whether like the people who are actually involved care.
No, I mean, look, we're British, so if you win something, it's kind of embarrassing. It's not. So we're a little bit neither here nor there about it. I have to be honest. I think we know when the work is good and when the work isn't good, that sort of thing. I don't think we need external appreciation or validation. On the other hand, if they're giving them out, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the show gets exceptionally good, I think, reviews and has been nominated for a bunch of awards, and you know, but if all these guys are here, it's like that's the point, right? Like
100%.
all these guys are here. Speaking of which, we are going to take a quick look at an upcoming bit of Slow Horses. Roddy's very earnest for a guy who is presented as such a jerk, you know? He's very, he has strong feelings about this situation.
He has strong feelings for Tara, yeah.
He does. And I guess we'll figure out what her deal is. I know what her deal is, but you guys don't know what her deal is. Yeah, it's been interesting, I think, to see that evolution for him and for the show, and you're gonna love it. I do want to open it up and take a few questions from you folks. I think they have mics here. Yep. All right, I'm gonna start over here. I don't know how many we're gonna get through. I'm gonna start over here.
Is it working? Yeah. Hi. So I had this question on this episode. Last week, I wouldn't have had this question. But it's a balance of dark humor and serious politics, intriguing. How do you decide when you lean into comedy versus tension? And how much freedom do you give the actors to improvise in those tonal shifts?
Well, we always do the comedy as if it's drama. That's very important. That's a sort of rule. Again, I don't see these shifts quite as one or the other. That's the thing. I think, as I said, in the world now, some things are comedically awful. So, I think we always try to make that the thriller elements stand by themselves as thriller elements as well. In terms of improvisation, not really. But the actors they torture the writer by sending him lots of emails telling him lines that their characters should say. So it's improvised in the sense that the writer doesn't have complete control. But it's not improvised on the day, really.
Nice, thank you.
All right, let's go over there.
Hi, my name's Peter. I just wanted to say thank you for being a part of a TV show that we don't have to wait 2 or 3 years between seasons or series, as you guys would say. My question is, I know the show is produced by a company that makes phones, and I find it very fascinating that almost half the scenes involve some kind of cell phone. So I wanted to ask Saul and the cast, what challenges does that present when you have one side of the conversation, and is that done primarily for scheduling, or is it storytelling?
I mean, in the modern world, we all use phones, as you might have noticed. But I mean, the more complicated problem, to give you a non-answer, the more complicated problem is if somebody does have an Apple product, they're not a bad person. So actually, if you look carefully, you can probably see how stories are going to go if you just look product placement-wise.
Is that why River had some kind of rando phone last season?
Yeah, it's also why Roddy, who's a hacker,
I don't have an Apple
You don't have an Apple?
He doesn't have
I have
an
no
Apple,
Apple
and
product.
Me
neither
neither.
does Lamb. But a lot of really good people have Apple products.
Great, thank you.
All right, let's go over here.
Hi, I'm here on behalf of the 22 victims of the zoo bombing. Will we see justice for the 22 penguins?
What was your question, Penguin?
Precisely. Will we see justice for the 22 victims of the zoo bombing?
Yeah,
They were delicious.
Okay. We did have long discussions as to whether you would see penguin deaths. So we feel that the program was very, very sensitive to penguins. And of course, in that, they talk about it in the program, but of course, there's the whole issue of particularly British people, much more sensitive about animal death than people death. So in some ways, I think we're very penguin positive.
Thank you.
I was gonna ask actually whether there were people here in costume for this show, but I did not expect that. And I couldn't hear a word that anybody said, so I was getting it all from context clues. It was great, figuring out gradually penguin. All right.
I'm really glad that the show's been picked up for 2 more seasons and that the books keep coming out, and we're going to make a bunch more shows that we can all watch. I have a quick question for Nick. What's more vexing when you see it in a script? Wonderful or Wonderkind?
Oh.
Oh. Probably Wonderkind, I think. Just only marginally, though.
That's a good question. I should have asked that. All right, over here.
Hi. Jackson Lamb dropping the biblical epic atomic fart this past episode is one of my favorite moments of TV. What was it like directing it? What was it like being in it? And did you all everybody else wish you were in that scene?
It was technically very interesting because we had to decide when it would hit each person first. I remember in the script it hit me first, and then Jack moved up there. And we're like, hang on now, if Jack's up in that corner, it's going to hit him first, so I have to move my line. So it was very technical and hilarious on the day.
I mean, I've spent a quite weird amount of my life having emails with an Oscar winner about how much flatulence they should be in a television program, which is not something I predicted for my life. But I mean, there's a sort of interesting thing. I mean, if you're a director, it's sort of interesting. You know, there's noisy farts and there's silent farts. And actually, the directing of silent farts is a slightly different issue because, as Ruth was saying, it's the reaction shots to the farts. But Gary does do a little bit of extra stuff. He does a little bit of a butt shift as he does it. And actually, and also, this is why the guy has an Oscar. He came up with the line when they said it was that a fart, mostly. That's Gary. You know.
Thank you.
I can't believe I didn't ask a fart question. I'm going to fire myself. All right.
So James Gandolfini famously had a mafioso call him and say, Don doesn't wear pants. Have you had anyone from MI6 contact any of you saying like, oh, that was accurate or that wasn't? Because I have read that slough houses do exist for some poor performing employees.
Well,
highly classified? I don't know.
Oh, sorry, it's difficult for us to hear up here or me to hear.
So have you had anyone from MI6 contact you saying like, oh, you got it right, or no, this is something that would never happen? Because they did read Slough houses do exist within MI6.
I mean, if somebody rang Slough House and said that was pretty good, they should be in Slough House because they'd be allowed. I've never had any calls personally.
I'm pretty sure that people in the service are fans of the show. I do think they think it's quite accurate and true to life. Funnily enough, I have a neighbor that I was walking down the street who I bumped into, and she said that her husband used to be part of the service, and she said that there are units that are kind of similar to Slough House that do exist. So, but that was as far as she went. So.
All right, over here.
How do you guys actually film a scene? I feel like it would take 12 hours from the amount of laughter with each other. Like, I just watching this show, I'm dying of laughter. So how many times do you have to repeat these scenes? You know, especially between Lamb and Ho. Like, that by itself probably took 2 months.
I think what's really like leaning into what Saul has said before is like playing these scenes for absolute real between me and Gary. We kind of really set up a lot of that dynamic in season 3, and then coming into this one. So you never actually, you don't want to like give your tells away. But working with Kristen this season was really great. She's so proper, she's so held together, but every now and then you just see this like glint in her eye that she would do that. Oh, she's almost about to break. I wonder if I just push it just a little bit more, can I get her? And she just never did, so.
That was also a good question. All right.
Hi, it's not a Slow Horses question, but it's a Battlestar Galactica question, if you don't mind, for Callis. And I do watch the show. I've just started watching Slow Horses, and I'm really enjoying it. But
Okay, everyone, talk amongst yourselves.
I have to say, while watching Battlestar Galactica the last season, Gaius Baltar was practically crying in every single episode. And I just wondered, what was making you so sad?
Had to think about a lot of things.
Like, what motivated you to
like
cry?
really why I was crying?
Yeah,
I
every
could,
episode.
I could read something in the newspaper that day that would be really affecting about something. Subtext-wise, can't say now, but like the deal was, you know, that show, it's like the end of the world every episode, or until we finished, and like the stakes are really high, and the person I was playing, you know, had more than a hand in the drama, shall we say. So this is somebody who is, what's the word, is so upset with themselves all the time. It's like guilt, it's like shame. To be honest, it's not the most comfortable thing to do, but when you've done it, you know that you've kind of, you've been part of telling the story in that way. That was about that.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
All right, it's just you guys now.
Hi. So I'm a crew member for film and TV here in New York. I'm an AD. So thank you for shouting out the crew, first of all.
Yep.
Oftentimes in the middle of the night in weird locations, I have a moment where I'm like, this is my job. I would rather be at home, but this is weird. Is there anything that comes to mind from shooting, whether stunts or locations, that you guys are like, hey, this is weird. This is my job.
In a bad way or a good way?
Oh, in a good way.
Okay. I think in season 4 we did a whole shootout in like a big fight sequence and then a big drone thing at the end of an episode. And
Brilliant.
That was amazing. Like for 4 nights we were just out there. It was like we were in Batman Returns. Like I felt like I was in a Tim Burton movie. That was amazing. Also, big shout out to our first AD, Matt. He's amazing. Just because you're an AD as well.
Thank you, guys.
Hello. I was wondering, is Olivia Cook going to be in season 7 because her character pops up again in book 7?
We're not gonna tell you that.
Okay. You sure?
I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
I'll take that as
ahead.
confirmation.
Anybody who wants to say anything, feel free. I didn't do it.
I think we'd be killed if we spoke about
Okay.
season 7. We would
All right.
spontaneously
James, you
combust.
still look great. I love Battlestar Galactica.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm here all week.
Nick, it is wonderful to see you in person, but I think you are missing a small element of your look. So I have for you an I love my violin pin.
Oh, that is so nice. Shall I come and grab that? That's really sweet. What's your name? Patrick. Just for reference, this is a character I play. Is called Mr. Swallow, and he wears a violin brush. Thank you so much. That's really kind. Thank you. Thank you.
Go ahead. It's all you.
I'm, as a recently retired member of the deep state, I want to express my opinion that you have really shown a lot of truth in your depiction of the ludicrous nature of a lot of the stuff our security state, both on this side of the Atlantic and in Britain, has conducted itself over many years. But what I'd like to ask of you is, the books were written for a British audience, and they're very communicative to that. You have successfully expanded that to the United States, and I think have opened up a lot of, the detritus of the empire. Look at who's on stage here, right? Empire land is what we're being shown. So what does this have to say to America through this truth that you're speaking through fiction? Sorry to get too...
Oh, well, the fact that I'm sitting next to a guy who plays an entirely terrible, useless politician, I'm just amazed that translated.
I think that's a mic drop moment.
Love it. Love it. All right. Well, I think we're out of questions. You guys, I appreciate this so much. This was really fun. Thank you so much to New York Comic Con and Apple TV Plus. New episodes of Slow Horses every Wednesday. Thank you so much for having us. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.